I love Yuki. Since her release, I love her playstyle. That is why I want to share my info about Yuki. In this video, I will be discussing equipment suggestion, math in Yuki's kit, card suggestion, save data, and much more. In the end will be the showcase of my team. Before we start, I will clarify some things about CZN's mechanics on the game. If you see plus 20%, plus 30%, perhaps plus 40% on cards, it means adding it directly to the damage card. However, if you see by 20%, by 30%, by 50% on cards, it meant you have to multiply it with the damage cards. This is what I meant with two comparison. We're gonna be using 200% base damage as an example. On the left side, we'll be adding, on the right side, we'll be multiplying. Plus 20% on the 200%, it will always equals to 220%. However, on the right side, we're going to be converting the 20% to 0.2 in decimal form so we can times it with the 200. 200% times 0.2 is equals to 40. And 40 plus 200% is equals to 140%. This is important, so if you see this on your card or in your equipment, this is what it truly meant, and these are the examples in the equipment. So let's start at the very best equipment for Yuki, and that is W-52 Dopamine Injector. It is a Catalyst Chaos equipment in the first slot. If you draw a card, it says, it increases damage by 20% and it can be activated twice per turn. So that means you have 2 morale if you draw a card using your own card. So that means you have to use prepare to subdue card. So if I am correct, I have 40% damage increase if I draw twice for that turn. So if I have 2 prepare to subdue card, I can make my cards 40% damage multiplier and 20% damage more multiplier for each of those cards because coming from prepare to subdue card. Let me demonstrate. So my Flash Slash has a 209% damage, right? Multiply this to 0.6 coming from the Prepare to Subdue card and from Dopamine Injector, 40%. So 209% damage times 0.6 is equal to 125.4 damage increase, right? So if we add this together, 209% damage plus 125.4, it will lead to 334.4 damage increase. Or more because we have morale, we have another factors that gives more additional buff for Yuki. This multiplier is all great because the damage is big because of the card. So the second best is Chimeranite. Can also be found in Catalyst Chaos that gives plus 35% damage to your own cards. It means you can spam this with a lot of cards. You're not just limited to your one card. And it is in the first slot, right? So this is the most hard equipment to get, but also worth it. For example, if I use Prepare to Subdue and Flash Slash arrives, it will be 209% damage times 0.2 coming from Prepare to Subdue. We have 41.8 plus 35 damage to your own cards coming from Chimeranite. So we have 41.8 plus 35% equals to 76.8. If we add it together, 209 plus 76.8, we have 285.8 more damage. And we're still, again, not giving more factors about the morale or any buff that increase the damage. This is still coming from the equipment. Okay, let me showcase one of my Yuki's save data that I have gotten. And actually, this is the most synergized save data I have ever gotten so far. And these 3 equipments are suitable for Yuki, so I suggest getting them also. So here's my game plan on this deck. Prepare to Subdue, 40% damage increase. If I get Flash Slash, it will become a 40% damage increase multiplier. And this Flash Slash will become an AP cost 0 card. And that is important because of Foggy Crystal Ball. If you have a 0 cost card, it will increase by 40% multiplier. And another buffer for that is an emblem of an exceptional entity plus 30 damage amount. So in total for one Flash Slash, you get 406.2 damage. And let's not forget the Rocket Adorn Cape. It has a draw ability to increase the draw potential for Yuki. Surely that is enough, right? But no, we can increase even further by using Ray. What I want from Ray is she's a morale giver to the team. And she has 3 cards can give morale. And that is Dark Condensation, and the other 2 is Predator's Blade. In a perfect world, I can able to get this to activate and having a flash slash 0 AP with absurd a lot of damage. And of course, I love pairing her with my Yuki, Ray, and Nia. As for the cards, Aggressive Mutant can also be a nice pick for Yuki because it can draw, and that card will turn into plus 50 damage amount increase. Also, there is this another one card that you can able to get also is Energy Barrier that gives an AP, and somehow if you ever to get her Epiphany, it will become vulnerable. You should able to get this. Also, there is this another forbidden cards. This is available right now, and I haven't able to get one. Probably it's good for Yuki, but I haven't tested it yet. Okay, for the Epiphany, let's start things off at Prepare to Subdue card. And this is what I recommend. The number 1 recommendation is the upgrade because of the 40% multiplier. The second is good too because it increased 20% multiplier. The 4th upgrade is good too with 20% multiplier for that turn and a card draw for the next turn. However, the 5th is decent, but if only you are lacking at drawing cards and you're not able and somehow you don't want the other, I recommend. The second can be Epiphany is Flash Slash, and I recommend the number 2 upgrade because it turns your card into an AP 0 cost card if the inspiration is on. And honestly, everything here is good but depends on what you want to accomplish for the first, except for the first upgrade. If you want multi-hit, go ahead with the 3rd upgrade. If you have tons of cards for Yuki and you have a lot of drawing team comp like Cassius with Nia or Beryl or Veronica, you can go for the 4th upgrade. Last but not the least, if you think you're killing a boss requires a lot of turn, go ahead and pick the number 5th upgrade Epiphany. The next is Trickery Strike upgrade. If you want to choose what to inspire, use the first upgrade. If you want to have another Trickery Strike, go for the 2nd upgrade because it has Retrieve. However, if you think the 2nd upgrade is too expensive and you don't mind not having a Retain and just want to activate all cards, just choose the number 3. 4th will be able to draw the Prepare to Subdue, or the 5th making it a damage card instead of a support card for Yuki. The last that can be Epiphany is Freezing Blade, and in my opinion, the only thing that I want to get here is the number 4th. Increase damage amount of attack cards of this unit that target all enemies by 30%. It means Flash Slash and Iceberg Cleave will increase damage. But however, haven't able to get this, I can get the other cards upgrade also. And that is it for me for now. That is all I can share. The rest of the video is me showcasing my team comp, and here is my build for every team.
うちに守ってもらえて嬉しい。うちのバット、じゃあうちに守って、うちのバット、バット、バット、うちに守ってもらえて嬉しい。じっとしてね。呼びましたか？力が湧いてきますね。うちのバット、刀なしといこうかな。あれ、次の今日気になるな。うちに守ってもバット、バット。行きなさい。すべてを皆さんに暗闇。一味違いますよ。うちのバット、ちゃんと見届けなさいね。うちに守ってもらえて嬉しいよね。じっとしててね。バット。ビシッと決めるね。さて、チューニングしよっと。うちのバット、刀なしといこうかな。うちに守ってもらえて嬉しいよね。うちのバット、バット、バット、呼びましたか？ 全てを元に暗闇うちに守ってもらえてうちのバットじっとしててバットうちに守ってもらえて嬉しいよねビシッと決めるねチューニングしよっとうちのバット刀なしといこっかなはーい全てを元に暗闇うちに守ってもらえて嬉しいよね私の力で確実に守ってみてなうちのバットちゃんと見届けなさいねうちに守ってもらえ呼びましたか一味違いますようちのバットちゃんと見届けなさいねうちに守ってもらううちのバットじっとしててこんなの楽勝に決まってる